Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing fantastic and that you're all having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell. My analytics tells me a good portion of people who watch every single day are not subscribed. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Here we are, still in optimism city. Yeah, since the Fed cut rates a couple days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, I don't remember. Since the Fed has cut rates and the Bank of Japan has not raised rates, and other banks around the world are also cutting rates, already kind of cut rates, a lot of the discussion is bull run, bull market, price predictions, where price is going. Bitcoin keeps on, the word's not breaking records, but like going up enough so that we can like continuously reconfirm the actual bullish momentum within the market. The discussions of Q4 have not stopped. If you've managed to miss any Q4 discussions, golf clap. I'm honestly not sure how you were able to do it. The discussion is October, November, December are meant to be like the skyrocketing months before we get to 2025. Which is the year after the halving, which is historically the time when prices basically go completely bananas. Crypto analyst Kevin Svensson has expressed a bullish outlook on Bitcoin following its recent recovery. Over the past 2 weeks, Bitcoin has appreciated by around 10%, is actually a bit more. And Svensson believes this momentum could drive the flagship cryptocurrency to a new all-time high in coming months, depending on which side of the fence you are currently standing on. There are a lot of people who think that we are going to $80,000 in like a few weeks. And then you have other people who think that it'll take us to around November, mid-November, for those of you who also missed it or haven't been in the market before. Every halving is during an election year. Every single halving is always during election year. And typically, when the election results are done, the market tends to rally. And it's actually all markets around the world you'll see. If this is your first time in finance or in crypto, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. It has to do with this like a sigh of relief, if you will, that like we don't have to go through this like period anymore with everyone like the only discussion on TV. Someone's in office, someone's in so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. Markets tend to pick up. So a lot of people are guesstimating that our market will continue to do well because of the current rate cut, the one that we might also get in November, and then also the expectations of the markets around the world moving further up once the election is done with. He attributes the optimism to the Federal Reserve's expected rate cutting phase, which could also provide a favorable environment for Bitcoin to surge. Svensson predicts that Bitcoin could hit new record highs in Q4, with the possibility of some consolidation around $73,800. We go up to $80,000, and people expect that the market will take a bit of a breather, roughly around the previous all-time high. He anticipates that by the new year, the market will start to show more significant changes, potentially setting the stage for even greater bullishness in 2025. The expectations are quite high, and they have been for a while. Everyone, I don't think is there anyone who's currently bearish on the market? Like, I'm asking honestly, because there's always one person who's like, no, we got to go back to 25,000. 38,000 is a number that we got to hit. It's the same a couple of weeks ago, and I won't name any names, but there's a popular crypto analyst who, before the rate cuts came out, said that the day before the rate cuts were going to be released, that Bitcoin was going back to $48,000 to $50,000 because that's what his charts were showing. The rate cut happened, and then over the course of 2 days, we moved up by, was it $4,000 or $5,000 for Bitcoin? So, yeah, this is, I mean, every day, everyone's always talking about this. Everyone's expecting new all-time highs sometime this year. And then basically Q1 of next year is supposed to be the $150,000, $200,000 Bitcoin until we get to the expected summer and or autumn of 2025 as the height of the market. Because also no one can still figure it out because the market is acting weird, I guess is the word. We typically, you know the whole story. I don't have to say it again. The amount of accumulation and all the businesses and stuff we've never had before. So people are expecting big things to happen as money begins to push itself back into the market. Yeah, that's a Q4 bullish Bitcoin price prediction thingamajig. And yeah, let's move on. In incredibly popular news, Robinhood has quietly included XRP in its list of supported assets, bringing a wave of excitement to the XRP community. However, Robinhood's Help Center page clarifies that the new addition is accessible only to users within the European Union. The listing may be interpreted as a cautious step by Robinhood, reflecting ongoing regulatory complexities. This was very popular news. For some reason, I will maybe never know. A lot of people love Robinhood, like really, really, really like Robinhood. Even with all the stuff that they allegedly did to our market in 2020 and 2021 when they allegedly were freezing accounts and weren't allowing people to trade, and they stopped all this stuff from Dogecoin. For some reason, they're one of the most popular platforms in the United States. I don't use them as I'm not there. However, I'd simply thought that XRP was already part of their platform. The news is and was that Robinhood has relisted XRP. The really weird part is that it's only, as far as articles are saying, is listed within Europe. The weird part is that the SEC has no control over Europe, like the US SEC. So it doesn't make sense why XRP would have been delisted from any European Robinhood whatever, because there was never an issue within Europe, as far as I can tell, from the 9 million news stories that we've gone over. However, the excitement is still there. Ripple is constantly in the news. I showed you a couple of videos ago if you didn't see it. Basically, I was showing you like all the news that happens over the course of a day. Actual real news for some reason is very difficult to come by in the cryptocurrency market because a lot of it has to do with meme coins and or Solana doing backflips. And then the other part is that there's like at least 9 different Ripple and or XRP articles per day. I wish I was even remotely joking. The expectation is that, at least at the time of me making this video, the expectation is that Robinhood will, I guess, relist XRP within the USA, and then that the stablecoin will launch, and then they'll go public, and there's like 19 different things. So usually, for those of you who do not know, the way that most crypto exchanges, and I assume also Robinhood works, is that you have to message them. Like actually, like it sounds a little crazy, but they used to say it years ago. They're not psychic, so they don't know what people want on their platform. So if you send them a message and say, "Hey, are you going to relist this? Are you going to have this? I want this coin." So and so and so. Like they will actually respond back to you. This was a major thing years ago with Coinbase and I believe Binance. They actually respond and they say like, we haven't thought about it, but we'll wait to see if any other people send us messages about it. And then before you know it, the coin gets listed. So I think maybe a lot of people who hold XRP, who are in the US or who want to buy XRP from Robinhood, I mean, it's kind of like the last thought. You wouldn't think it would be so simple as like get people to email Robinhood and tell them to relist it or ask them when they're going to relist it. You usually don't think that's what I always tell you. Like we have the power, like we as the community have all the power. But yeah, just takes a while to actually realize it. That's the XRP is back on Robinhood. I was going to try and rhyme there. Back on Robinhood, at least in Europe. And yeah, let's move on. You know what? Sure. Why the fudge not? Circle, the issuer of the world's second largest stablecoin, USDC, feels confident that stablecoins will become mainstream money. I'm going to try and be nice here and simply give you the actual news and things that are actually taking place. So how do I say this? A lot of companies within the cryptocurrency space are not inherently here for decentralization or to make sure that Bitcoin gets good press or that the world moves to a new economic standard. Did everyone understand that? A lot of companies in the cryptocurrency market are basically in it for themselves. That's something that we've gone over a multitude of times that I've more or less tried to get people to remember, or as a gentle reminder. It's the same exact thing whenever there's any like institutional corporation coin, or a Visa or MasterCard or PayPal is trying to get you to sign up to their platform to use crypto, and you can only send crypto through there, that kind of thing. So stable coins make a lot of money because people use them for trading, got it. But also B, there are a lot of people around the world who actually use stable coins as a method of transacting. That's something that rarely gets spoken about, and maybe it's for regulatory reasons. I'm not exactly really sure, to be honest. We had news like that a number of years ago where people are actually foregoing or getting rid of or swapping their local fiat currency. That's inflating like 25% month on month into Tether, or it's usually the stories just into Tether, and they end up using it. And governments don't have they don't care for that because they want you to use their crappy fiat currency. There's been a push by mainly Circle. Tether seems to be like transparent as to how much Tether is being printed and this and that and so, but we don't normally get reports from Tether talking about stablecoins taking over the world as much as we do from Coinbase and Circle, which are basically the same entity. But they created Circle to say that Coinbase isn't doing everything when it's basically under the exact same umbrella. There's a massive move by governments and by institutions to basically make stable coins like the thing that people use around the world. A lot of governments have said that they no longer are going to be creating their own central bank digital currency. However, they're still going to be creating a stable coin in some way or another. It's not that I'm trying to. It's basically that a lot of companies within this space kind of pushed their way in, created something that people really didn't need, stable coins. It's an extra digital version of the fiat currencies that we're supposed to be getting away from because they're the reason for the constant economic turmoil that we're all going through over and over and over from every government. But then you have a lot of companies who enter the space, PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, Circle, I don't care who they are, and they try to get you to believe that their thing that they created is better than Bitcoin, or that you should be using their systems instead of Bitcoin. This is the same exact thing with Base and them creating a wrapped Bitcoin. It's all this kind of thing it gets tied together. And at the end of it, if we can be honest with ourselves, all of it has to do with money. These companies trying to make money, wanting to make more money, and basically telling you that this is the only way to make money. Circle, the issuer of the world's second largest stablecoin, feels confident that stablecoins will become mainstream money. Simultaneously, regulations should be harmonized globally to ensure compliance for all payment stablecoin issuers. That's also something that kind of makes me cringe. I'm a lot of companies, and I'll back it up. I'm going to back that up really quick. Coinbase and like 2 other companies within the United States have kind of made it their thing where they're telling global regulators that they need to get it together and make proper regulations for stablecoins. One, if you missed, this was maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. The problem is, I'm just going to be honest. The problem is that a lot of people with money think that they're God or just adjacent to. A number of years ago, there were a lot of cryptocurrency companies who were basically kind of like telling the SEC what they had to do. They were demanding that the CFTC had to do X, Y, and Z. And that also was taking place around the UK. It wasn't in Singapore, it wasn't in Hong Kong, but there were some places, it was taking place. They had all these things and all these like, I forgot what the word is. Like, remember years ago when Coinbase was telling us to rally together and to contact our local congressman and tell them that? And I was like, yeah, you want our help now because you pushed us away all those years ago. These companies basically move in. They think that they, once again, are so rich that they can kind of push people around. And they, the term is, they fudged around and they found out that regulators didn't know that that's not how it's going to actually work. So this is why I also believe we had such an enormous amount of pushback from the SEC for multiple years. It's because all these companies kind of walked in. We have $35 billion. Do what we say. And they were like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. So it's kind of happening again. The cryptocurrency companies are telling regulators that they need to work together, get it together fast, make these laws and regulations so that we can basically circumvent the usage of the US dollar and the euro and the yen and make our own stable coins so we can make trillions of dollars. It's kind of weird. They said Circle is confident that there will be mainstream adoption of stablecoins as the money for the internet age. Doesn't that sound weird? Because you know what it's supposed to be, right? As we try and get away from the old system, the answer, for those of you who aren't aware, is Bitcoin. Now, and I'll say, hold on, put your hands down. I'll say, because I know some of you love them, I'll say the answer could also be Ethereum. The answer could also be XRP. The answer is something decentralized, is the point, and it's not something controlled or created by a company. These people think that stable coins are literally going to circumvent and take over the usage of the US dollar, the euro, and the yen, and any other currency that tries to get in its way. I want to say that they don't understand how sadly mistaken they are because they're all full of money, so they think that it's going to work out that way. But the world is going to be incredibly different, but it'll take a couple of years for them to actually figure that out. Dante Disparte, Chief Strategy Officer and Head of Global Policy at Circle, told this to Cointelegraph. He said, "We expect there will be internet payment firms and other financial services companies that will attempt to enter or to expand in this space, which is a strong signal that stable coins are here to stay." Not really, it's just greed. It's the reason why Coinbase made Circle Coin. It wasn't because they're trying to bring the world into a new era of greatness and move us away from the Fed. They saw that Tether was making an enormous amount of money. It's the reason why everyone's making. Anywho, without having to read any further, because the article just kind of keeps on going over and over and over. Awesome. Cool. We'll see what happens. I think stable coins will continue to play a part in crypto trading. But the audacity to think that they're going to be like the brand new thing that people are kind of falling over themselves for to be able to use in their everyday lives is a bit delulu, to say the least. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. There's always tons of stablecoin news. And, everyone loves stablecoin news because that's the most exciting news that there is. Okie dokie. Let's move on. I think we're supposed to care about this. I don't really know. HTX, formerly, I believe, Huobi. HTX has announced integration with Bitcoin's Lightning Network, a second layer payments protocol designed to facilitate faster and cheaper cryptocurrency transactions. Lightning Network is slowly picking up. Slowly. It was talked about in 2018 as kind of the way that Bitcoin was going to be able to scale. Because, 3 to 5 transactions per second, that's not going to do a lot. But Lightning was kind of touted as the way that would make sure that everyone could use Bitcoin and transaction fees are only 1 Satoshi and all this other stuff, locking away your Bitcoin. You get the idea. As Bitcoin does become more mainstream, and eventually when people decide to actually start using it as a payment method, I think we're once again not going to get there until Bitcoin's $500,000 per coin. Raise your hand right now if you plan on spending your crypto, getting rid of your crypto. Like, not many people are going to go buy shoes and or a holiday with their crypto. Everyone's literally waiting for coins to do a 5x, a 10x, a 20x, or a 100x. But as the price continues to go higher, the idea is that in the future, people will want to kind of spend some of their Satoshi, some of their Bitcoin, and the way that they're going to do it is basically with Lightning. In 2018, 2019, we were more or less led to believe that by 2022, it would be the only way that we would be transacting. But here we are. A lot of crypto exchanges do offer Lightning, and I think that that's going to be the main catalyst for a lot of this. I think Coinbase uses Lightning. I think Binance has also integrated Lightning. I would assume Gemini has also done so, as Gemini is mainly a Bitcoin exchange. So if there's Lightning through all of these exchanges, and then you have HTX, formerly Huobi, and most of these exchanges have also issued their own Visa debit card that debits directly from your crypto account. I assume that that's the method of the way of the future for Bitcoin and its payments. This move aims to enhance the efficiency of Bitcoin payments and withdrawals on the platform, significantly reducing transaction times and costs. If you've ever moved Bitcoin around, it is, I'm going to say the word terrifying. It takes about 12 minutes sometimes for your coins to arrive. And if you've ever sent a large amount of any coin, it's a bit of a, makes you a bit nervous because you're like, where's my money? And with Bitcoin, when it takes even longer, that's the terrifying part. There's a story from, I want to say 2015, 16, 17, somewhere around there. It wasn't Novogratz. Maybe it was Michael Saylor. I don't know. Some rich person. Years and years ago, they used to go. So you know how the US has a whole bunch of Bitcoin? They got all of that Bitcoin from basically seizures. They stated a number of years ago that they found, wink, websites doing things that were illegal or whatever word you want to throw inside there. And they took the Bitcoin from these people. Got it. What happened after is that they wanted to auction a lot of it off. So a lot of the really famous, rich, early people in this space used to go to these auctions. And there's a story of, I want to say it's Michael Saylor. Doesn't really matter. One of them purchased, I think, $15 million worth of Bitcoin from one of the auctions. And so here's how it works out logically. Let's say I'm trying to send you $15 million. If I had the $15 million, I probably wouldn't send it to you, but you understand for the sake of the argument. You would normally, any normal human being would like get the address, you copy and paste it, and then you send about a good like $300 first, just to make sure that is the correct address. They said that they were actually on the phone with the people who they bought it from, like from the auctioneers, if you will. And they were like, okay, send a portion of it. And the auctioneer was like, a what? They were like, yeah, so just make sure that the address is correct and just send some of it. They said, huh? The guy was like, I sent the entire thing. So for the next 20 minutes, they waited on the phone all anxious because they were like, what if the guy got the address wrong? On modern cryptocurrency wallets, when you are like sending something, it'll like the address will glow green. Like if you have it correct. I don't know if you should all have sent crypto at some point. If you send it from point A to point B to point C and you add the actual address to it, you'll see like it confirms with the check mark or green. This is a real address. Old wallets didn't do that. There was no confirmation if it was real or not. You simply had to like actually copy and paste it to make sure. So yeah, long story short, random history story. The money did arrive, but he said he was terrified because he was like, what if they were one digit off and that coin just simply went into the ether somewhere and I never got my $15 million worth of Bitcoin. So anywho, the integration is part of a little history lesson. The integration is part of a strategic partnership with IBEX, IBEX, a fintech company specializing in Lightning Network technology, and is expected to benefit users in emerging markets such as Asia, Latin America, and Africa. It's kind of cool. We'll get it all together eventually. It's not like, I will say, I wish this had been done a long time ago so that we didn't still have to kind of have these discussions. It might even take a little bit longer. Like I said, in 2022, that was the year we were told like everyone's going to be on Lightning. But if Bitcoin is to succeed as a payment method, we need Lightning because otherwise it's not going to work. At least as a payment. I went to their website. This website looks like it was made in 1995. It is the weirdest. Doesn't this look odd to anyone else? Is it really? It can't just be me because I'm quite Yeah, I expected one of the largest crypto exchanges on the planet to have like a pretty website. It looks like it was made in 1994. You ever seen those like time capsule things? For those of you who don't know, like most websites will have like a time capsule feature. So like you can go, I want to see what this website looked like in 2001 or 2008. Like you can kind of like you'll be able to see what it looked like and like kind of even scroll around on some of the pages. This looks like it's like we just got the internet. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this video. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.